What's going on, guys and gals? So, as some of you know, I was supposed to go to Thunder on the Strip today for some of their 8th Mile drags down in Gladwin. And I was kind of hesitant to make this video, but I honestly kind of want to share this because it's super weird and it has to do with the car. So basically, yesterday I went to pull the car out of the trailer to do some last minute preparations for today's event. And there were a few new parts I was going to throw in real quick. Nothing that was major, but anyways, as some of you know, last weekend I trailered the car down to Joliet, Illinois for Subi Fest Midwest. I drove the car to the show just down the street from where it was. And the car ran perfectly fine, and sat all day out in the show, and then started up, drove it back to the trailer, and drove onto the trailer just fine. So yesterday I go to pull the car out of the trailer, and I haven't taken it out since I got back into town last weekend, so it hasn't been started since then. So I go to pull it out yesterday, and I immediately can tell we have no compression on 2 cylinders. So I'm like, okay, well, that's new. What's going on? So I pop the timing cover off, and lo and behold, the passenger side exhaust cam is 90 degrees off. So I'm puzzled more than anything. I'm puzzled. Whenever I trailer this car, and I've trailered this car probably almost 100 times, every single time I will strap it down tight, set the parking brake, and put it in first gear. I've never had an issue towing a car that way. Never had an issue towing this car that way. But the highways down around Joliet, frankly, are pretty rough. Now, I don't know what would have caused that. Like I said, I drove onto the trailer under its own power, sounded fine, everything was perfectly fine. All I did was drive it on, shut it off, strap it down, do my usual spiel, and head on my way. And when I got back in Oscoda, it just sat in the trailer till yesterday when I tried to pull it out. So I am just puzzled on how it would have jumped 90 degrees on one cam. I felt the belt tension and it feels fine. Not saying that it's not a tensioner problem, but there's no slop in the belt. My only other guess, which I don't think is likely because it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but is if the car moved, I guess, enough, it could have possibly spun the engine backwards and somehow skipped teeth on the timing belt or on the exhaust sprocket on one of them. But the thing is, there's slop in the driveline on these cars. I mean, you have loose tolerance that, there's a decent amount of slop on these. You would have to move this car, in my opinion, multiple feet before it would cause an issue, possibly. Not even saying it would, but possibly maybe cause an issue if the engine spun the wrong way. And if anything, it would have to spin, or it'd have to move backwards. So, being the ratios of first gear and the fact that it didn't move, and maybe if it did move, it moved a half inch. I don't know. It looked like it didn't move at all. The straps were tight when I got home. But anyways, I found it very puzzling, and I still can't really figure out what would have caused it to jump timing like that. But basically, unfortunately, I did crank it over, and being that it's that far out of time, I almost guarantee you it kissed a valve. The piston probably bent a valve, or all 4 exhaust valves on that side. So we're gonna have to rip her out, tear it down, and just kind of analyze the damage. I'm not really mad about that or anything, but it's just kind of, I'm puzzled about, I'm confused about how this happened and how it's only one cam and how trailering it would have done that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know, I kind of figured I would share this experience because I have never, on the hundreds of tows that I've done with this car, and you know, my experience from with other cars and in the past, I've never seen this happen. I don't understand how you would drive it on the trailer, have it run perfectly fine, do my normal procedure of strapping it down, putting the parking brake on, you know the deal. And then somehow when it gets back into town, we lose timing on a cam. So I don't know. We're going to tear into this and get it fixed ASAP. I'm not worried about actually doing that, but honestly, the most frustrated I am is trying to figure out why. So there's my 7-minute little rant on the problem, or on this issue, but we're going to get it back up and running. I'm not worried about it. We're going to do tear down, get parts ordered, get her back up and running, hopefully in a couple weeks or less. So yeah, thanks for watching.